Hey everyone, how you guys doing today? So we're going to be trying something new today. So we have a game called Lords and Villains. Once again, the developers decided to give me a key so we could test it out and kind of show you what the game is like. However, I did something that I normally don't do. I researched this game. Normally I like hopping in and like going in blind and having a good time with that. I did attempt to do that until I realized what kind of game this is. This is not a game you jump in and just figure out on the way. I mean, hey, you might be able to do it, but I definitely couldn't. So the first thing I did is I did these. It's called the ruling lessons, and I did a bunch of like things and we learned a bunch. Now granted, I didn't do these last ones because I think I got a good grasp on the game, and maybe when we come across those other ones we'll have a good time with it. But we're gonna do two separate parts today. The first thing is we're gonna be building a city and having a good time with it. But then a little bit later on, there's a new DLC that came out called the Great Houses. And basically you're able to take over the map and do like a bunch of really cool things with that. But we'll explain that a little bit later on. But for now, what we're gonna do is we're gonna create a family. Now, because I already went into this and kind of like figured out how to do it, the first thing is we already made our crest. I really like it. It looks really cool. It was a bunch of different shapes and whatnot. I love the green. And our motto was the dead shall rule. I did make our names Ammon and our surname Tex. So all these is the Tech family. So yeah, this is what we're going to be rolling with. Our characters don't necessarily matter because it's going to be a game where this is what we have at the very beginning, but they're not technically us. And I'll kind of explain that a little bit later on. So without further ado, we're going to load into a custom game. We're going to, yes, I forgot I already named it Nerddom because I already tried doing this before, and boy, oh boy, this is not what I thought it was going to be. So there's a couple different things that we're able to actually do and like change things up, right? So the first thing is we could actually have it where these are modules where like things will like change and whatnot, but I don't want to do that. I feel like it's better for us to just keep it as kind of base, right? We are going to extend the seasons maybe a little bit more. And then lifelink, we're going to extend that to 30, but everything else is we're going to kind of keep the same. So the first thing is we could create a map. There's different types of maps we're able to go for. We're able to go from super small, from what was it, 64 by 64, well I wouldn't say super small, all the way up to 384 by 384. I think we're going to go for the biggest map size that's not experimental, so we're going to do that. And there's a couple different things like different scenarios or terrain types we're able to choose from. I'm gonna do fields since this is I'm still very new to this game. But I think it's gonna be pretty fun. So we're gonna randomize this a little bit more, and then with that we're just gonna hop right into the map. All right, see you there. All right, Lord AmmonTek, you've been chosen to join the ranks of my closest vassals to take care of lands I've given you. It is the highest importance that you fulfill your duties and serve me to bring wealth and prosperity to our kingdom. By confirming, you shall certify your oath of fealty. Best of luck on your journey. So first things first, we're gonna pause this game and see what we have here. So this is our map that we're gonna get, that we have, right? So there's multiple different things that we're able to do. First thing is it comes down to the different people we have. If we could go to our villagers book, there's 3 different families with us. We have a family that is really good at farming. We have a family that's good at foraging, and we have a family that's good at fishing. So through here, we have a couple different things we're able to do, right? So we're going to go down to the zones here, and we're going to start building zones for our people, right? The first thing I'm going to do, though, is I am going to quickly show you how this works on a couple different ones, and then we're going to speed on through for the rest of them. So first thing, we're going to build a household. So each of these could be a different household for different things. So for our farmers, which is the one for that, we're going to find a wide open area like up here, right? So we're going to build this household and go actually right about here is a good spot. Now, when we go here, we're going to assign our family, and we're going to assign the family to be the farming family. Now, the reason why I like to do it this way first is because it shows me that we have 7 people in this household. So with that, I'm actually going to make this house a little bit bigger. That's about right. So when we first start, we have a bunch of supplies here. So if you look, these are all the supplies that we have. We have a bunch. We have got a couple bits of food. We have a couple bits of a cat. Apparently, we have some wood depositories, some planks, a couple good starter things, and it looks like we have a storefront to start with. So that's actually kind of cool. So with that, we're gonna go back into our household, and we are going to start building up walls. So I tend to build a straw wall for the starting families because I don't have a lot of resources just yet. So this is a game where I'm gonna lay down like different blueprints, and then those blueprints are made by the people here. So we're gonna put down this hay wall, but don't forget we have to put in a door. So what I'm gonna do is I'm also gonna put a door on the back side of this house. I'm also going to make the zone just a tad bit bigger, right about here. No, that's not a good spot for it to be. I'm gonna put it here and here. Now the reason why I'm doing these two little juts right here is because we get to put a wooden block and a well for them. So now they're able to get water and cut firewood for the winter. But that's for a little bit later on. It's something that I like to put down in the very beginning. So first thing is we have a straw bed, right? So this straw bed, there's different variations that we could look through it. I like the pillow because it makes it look aesthetically pleasing to my eyes. So we're going to do there and there. Perfect. We got 2 down. And now what we're going to do is we're going to put down a double bed. This double bed is for the husband and wife of this household in order to live in. And if I have extra beds, there's a chance that there's more kids who come in. So we're going to do that. And then we're going to just continue placing down these things. Every single one of them needs at least some furniture. So we're going to put down some of that, as well as a wooden bench to make sure they could sit at the table. So let's do a wooden chair as well. And ta-da, that's a nice little table for them. If you look here, this is pretty much everything that they are already looking at building. However, we do need to continue. First, they need shelves. These shelves are for food, right? So they're going to get some good food from here in order to put into their shelves so they could actually eat and prosper. This household's not going to necessarily need too much of it because they're going to be able to make their own food and they're going to be the one who does the farming. So they're not really going to be super concerned with that, but I'm still going to give them some food. Next thing we need is a campfire. This is a source of heat, essentially. So they're going to like be hot during the winter. All right, so we're also going to do ground depositories. Ground depositories is basically the storage. I normally do 3 to 6 because it's a good way of like showing what it is. But I'm actually, since we're still pretty low on planks, I'm only going to do 3. Next thing that we're going to go for is we need a chest. A chest, and it actually could tell you what certain things hold. So this chest, well, of course, that's not going to tell you right there. This chest actually holds rags, arts, money, dandelions. So a lot of the high-end things, the crafting materials and precious items. The reason why you put that there is for when they get money, it's where you put it. This is for food. This is for basically any of the materials in the world. So it's going to show here like just a less organized storage, but it's really good for stuff. Then we're going to give them a small barrel because that gives them food. And last but not least, we're going to give them a drawer. What this drawer does is just kind of helps them with their clothing. And that's pretty much a lot of the beginner stuff for that household. The only exception is I do need to put in more beds because they have 7 and we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's going to go 5, 6, 7. So now we have beds for all of them. Now we have the walls and we have the furniture already pretty much set up and ready to go. However, what we don't have is the floors. So real quick, I am going to put a crafting or a cooking table in here, maybe. I don't know where I should put that. Actually, that's not a bad spot. We're going to put a cooking table there so they're able to cook their own food. So the next thing is we're going to look at floors. There's different types of floors that we're able to use. However, I'm just going to use the dirt path. It's a real easy one to do and it's just free and simple. I'm also going to put 2 dirt paths there. Okay. So with that, now we're going to finally put a roof over its head, which is a thatched roof. All this requires straw and pretty much nothing else. And that's basically a good household. So now when we start moving, the Thorol household is going to move in and start building that. At the very beginning of the game, there's going to be different things that they require, for example. So for the Thorol household, if we look here, they're going to look down and they need 5 stone. So we're going to give them 5 stone because this is our treasury. As a lord of the land, as a vassal of the land, we're going to be giving them things so they're able to build their houses. Eventually, later on, they're going to be able to make their own, and then they're going to start trading with each other. But for now, I'm going to give them what they need just to start it. So that is the first thing that we're going to do. The next thing is, this is a lot of stuff at the very beginning, and I know. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to build a farmland, right? So what I do is I just plop a giant bit of farmland there. We're going to go to farming soil. We're just going to make all that farming. And then we're going to need a flailing spot. So 1, 2. Oh. Why can't I build there? Oh, it's probably because it's forest. That was my bad. And then we're going to put a silo down, which is going to go there. We're going to put down some, not ground storage, but ground depositories. And we're going to do a little bit more because there's going to be a little bit more farmland than normal. We're going to put some small barrels down because they're going to need some stuff to start putting all the food that we're going to make here. And then last but not least, I think we're going to just do some shelves. So whenever they do make food here, they can. So that's pretty much a good start of the farmland. Another thing we have to quickly do is we have to go over to soil management and tell them what they want to grow. So for the very beginning, I always personally, I like putting wheat at 10 because I know that that's there. But everything else, I'm going to put at a 3 or a 5. I'm going to put, I think, was it carrots? Yeah, carrots at a 5 and everything else at 3s. I'll do that as a 4. So now this is going to do 30%, 36% of the farmland is going to be wheat, and the rest of the percentage is going to be everything else. And that's pretty much how that farmland works. Now, there's a giant space up here. Well, what we're going to do is we're going to be making a inn. What the inn is for is basically this household is going to control the farmland and the inn. So they're going to make everything up here. If I make a good inn, more families are going to want to move into our town and eventually get throughout the world here. So that's kind of exciting. But real quick, what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly just make all the things that we need at the very beginning of the game, and I'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. So this is kind of what I did real quick. The reason why I wanted to do it is because there's a lot, like speed up through this is because there's a lot of me just placing things down and just trying to find the right spots for it. But throughout this game, this is basically what we're going to be doing, is we are going to be focusing on all these families building and doing different things. At the very beginning, like I think we were telling you about the inn, as well as the household and a farmland. The farmland I did, here, let's move that so we can see all the blueprints that we have built here. So the farmland is going to be built by this family. This family is going to build this house, and then it's going to build this inn, and then it's going to build all this. So all of this is going to be kind of like built throughout the entire time. Then over here, we have the caravan marketplace, the marketplace, and the public area, all under my control. So I will build those. So these families will individually build all the stuff here, and I will be the one to build that there. Now, if we go over to the warehouse, like we were talking about before, I could donate a bunch of things to all these people. So first thing, Thorol, let's see what they need real quick. So stone, they need 3 stones. So I'll give them 3 stone. Wood, they need 1. Plank, they need, that's a lot. But that's also because they are building the inn, which I actually kind of need. So 169 will do that. And straw, that is literally half of our straw, but they are the ones who also produces the straw. So 466, I'm fine with doing that. Next thing, I'm also going to give them 100 food because they also need to eat. So that is House Thorol done. Now we're going to look at the next house, which is House Gambelt. So they need 5 stone. So we're just going to give them that. We're going to give them 11 wood. And we're going to give them, that is a lot of planks. Oh, it's also probably because of the need for We're gonna do 217. The need for all these down here, because every single one of these needs a plank to take, and then the storefront needs a plank, and I think, yeah, the chest needs a plank as well. The barrels need a plank, and that needs a plank. So they're gonna need a bunch of planks. The only one who I'm not really gonna give a lot to is down here, which is the fishing family. Reason being is they do give us food, and they're gonna be, you know, doing a lot of that for us. However, these are a significantly higher priority than the fish. The fish does give us food, don't get me wrong, but so does this. So does our farm. But our farm also gives us the ability to make more straw. So throughout here, those are basically all the things that are currently happening. My family, it looks like. No, is that my family? I mean, it has to be because, you know, that's my area. They're clearing out the ground first, and then they're going to, because it seems like they destroy before they build. So that's why none of them are currently building just yet. Well, these guys are, because they didn't need to do much. But these guys are first destroying all the things in the way before they start building everything. Oh, whoops. Speaking of, I actually forgot to give the inn a floor. So let's do that. Plop that floor down. Oh, I gave that one a floor at least. So, yep. That is basically what's going to be going on as we're waiting. It looks like these guys got the floor already ready to go, and they are working on the actual royal farm already. So we're going to be getting some planks relatively soon. So we're not going to be completely out of planks anymore. Down here, of course, they're doing fine. So these are our families that we currently have, and they're currently building. One thing that I also noticed is over here, if you look at this, it's a fishing pool. This fishing pool will actually count as their home if there's beds there. And I also thought it was very, very cool. So actually, let's see what they need. They need, oh, they don't, you know, we're going to give them wood. We're going to give them the stone. I don't have plenty of that, so I'm going to unfortunately have to say no. I'm going to keep the planks because I need to build storefronts myself. 206, I'll give you 100 because that's all I could really do. And 28, I'll give you 28. That's fine. It's unfortunate for now, but that's what it is. A lot of this is gonna, so here's my guy, you know, coming down here to donate that to them. But as soon as they're done, they're gonna be building or tearing down a lot of these things and building up correct areas. Now, in this game, there's multiple different sections of stuff we could do. We could speed it up by all the way times 8, which that's going to be, like, primarily a lot of our stuff here, is we're going to be speeding through this. But there's another thing that we're going to see later on, which I actually can show you now. If we hit M, it's going to go into the world's map. All right, so in this world map, this is kind of what we have, a bunch of things and towns. And eventually, we're going to be able to actually start buying and making these things here, which is actually really, really cool. So this is our current territory of what we have, which is a pretty big territory, with no garrison units or anything like that. Oh, villagers need beds. Yep, I'm fully aware they are currently making it. And then we're able to either buy the land with money, which we do have money. We could buy it with favor, which we'll get favor later on, or we could start building a road. By building a road, it actually will connect a lot of these cities closer together, and we'll actually be able to trade faster. But for now, we're going to worry about that later, because that's part of the DLC. We're going to worry about just, like, building up our little town before anything else. Look at these little guys go. All right, so up here, we already have this ready to go. We have the caravan marketplace ready. So now we're going to be getting caravans throughout the week and just like being able to get a bunch of people and farm and trade with other things. Over here, we also have the storefront ready to go. Now, what a storefront isn't necessarily gonna like change a lot for us currently, but what it does is if they don't have their own individual storefronts, which I believe I made a storefront for everyone. I don't seem like I made a storefront for these guys. That's actually surprising. So let's quickly do that. Yeah, storefront. There it is. Okay. So this storefront will be able to essentially allow these villagers to trade with each other. And what this marketplace is if they don't have a storefront or they have excess supplies they want to trade, they could come over here and they could trade. And that's what that whole point's for. We also have over here, it looks like a couple of my guys are kind of tired and, you know, sleep. Oh, do we already have soldiers? Interesting. So in that case, I'm actually gonna make ourselves a barracks. The barracks are gonna be number 1, even over my manor. But that's fine. We're gonna build our barracks here. We're gonna put some training dummies outside. And then we're gonna start putting normal straw beds in this house. Like so. Okay. We also still need campfire so we could heat them up. And then we need technically a spot for food. So actually in that case, we're gonna let time go forward with this. I'm going to make the barracks a little bit bigger than I originally was thinking. So we're gonna do that. And we're gonna need some drawers for them. So with that, let's increase the size of the barracks. I didn't even think of that. So let's quickly pop out of here. We're gonna erase these blueprints real quick because that is where I wanted the walls. I didn't even think about that. So plop, walls down, and a wooden door. We're gonna put floors on here, and then we're going to put a roof over their head. All of it is going to be done in straw as per usual. Quickly switch over to training dummies. We got 5, and then we're going to put down 2 wooden tables for them to actually eat. And we are going to put... It's not allowing me to put that there, so I'm just gonna grab the wooden bench. There it is. And place it down. So they got a wonderful spot to train and eat. Eventually, anyways, we could also go over to our villagers book and go to our military. And here is the current recruits that we have. We have no recruits awaiting, but we do have 2 day guards. Instead, I'm gonna go down to 1 day guard and go to 1 night guard. So there's always going to be someone there. The day guard, we are going to increase their gold by 2 silver, and the night as well to 2 silver, because we're going to need to make sure that they're happy. And then the only people who don't have a spot to, oh, here's our first caravan. The only spot that we don't have tamed and ready to go is, yeah, they just need straw. Okay. The only one they don't have ready to go is my guys, which, not gonna lie, that's completely fine. I feel like having my family not fully ready, we could sleep in the inn. We're fine being there. Surprisingly, these guys are almost completed their house. Let's look at our warehouse, see if there's anything that we could actually pass out still to help people out. Our planks are running very low, but it looks like they're doing fine, honestly. Let's do 15. Oh, it looks like they just bought it themselves. So that's also something. They could buy it themselves if it is available and ready to, you know, sell. And that's what a lot of this does, is they're able to come over here to the actual market and actually get a bunch of things there. So we got an animal that's tamed as well, so we're getting sheeps and chickens and stuff like that, and as soon as this is made, we're going to be able to easily hold them. But that takes a little bit of resources. But for the time being, yeah, this is the game. It's very much reminiscent of some other city management games that has like this overview of it, and it's super fun. I quite enjoyed doing a lot of the tutorial missions with this. But I definitely enjoyed this. Getting the very beginning is a little bit more difficult because it's definitely the start of everything. Once your guys actually start producing more and more product, it gets a lot like easier. But of course, that's kind of the point of starter games. I'm always though like super. Hey, first thing first, what do we have here? We have a new family that wants to settle in. They could do an inn, but they also could do an artist workshop. Do I care for that is the question. Because right now artists are great, but I don't think I have enough of anything to really care for that. And they could do a household and inn work, and I already have a family that does inn, so I'm going to reject that family for now. And eventually, yeah, there it is. The beds are being made by a lot of my guys. Here comes a lot of the wheat. Yeah, here's the wheat is being made into chicken beds, and eventually now we have these spots where you're able to change the wheat into. Oh yeah, that's rice. There's wheat. The wheat into actual straw. So it's a process, and it's actually really fun. I'm really enjoying this. Eventually, we're going to get families that were able to, destroy these rocks, get new minerals, and have a good time with it. But it's definitely a slow burn game at the very beginning, and I'm having a good time. All right, so what I'm going to do is we are going to quickly watch a time lapse of pretty much all this happening, and we'll be right back. Oh, we got something coming up here. So it's another fishing one that we could do. I'm kind of tempted to do another fishing so we could get more food into our village. Actually, I know exactly what to do. So we're going to accept them into our village, right? However, what we are going to do instead is it's not the Marcy family. It is this family. What we're going to do is instead, we're going to send, I guess, all of it maybe into the clergy, or maybe we can listen to our armies. I'm going to send them to the clergy. Yes. So what that does is by sending all of them to the clergy, there it is. This family now is going to start trying to become monks. But in order to become monks, guess what we have to do? We have to make more zones. So there's a couple of things that we're going to do. First thing is we are going to make a quarters for them. And instead of skipping it this time, let's do a quick little montage, shall we? All right, and we are back. Well, yeah, that was kind of like a quick little build of our kind of entire clergy idea. So here's our little quarters at the very beginning. They're going to be where the people first sleep and everything. This is where they're going to learn to become monks. This is where we have church, and this is where I have church, essentially. So there's going to be two different types of churches. This is one for the peasants. This is one for me. And yeah, that's kind of like a quick little build of it. I'm actually pretty happy with a lot of these builds. Oh, building's not reachable. What is not? This thatched roof. Ah, yes, I could see why it's not. So technically I can't move across this, so they can't actually build that. So that kind of sucks, but it's fine. I think it was kind of funny the entire time that I was building this, there was no music, but the moment I was done building, they're like, okay, music time. I'm like, oh, great. All right, so over here, yeah, you're going to be continually trading. We're also able to look at like certain things that we want. So let's go to the warehouse book, and we could go down to trade, and we're able to trade with certain caravans. So right now, there's a lot of things that I genuinely need, but the, we have a miner. So yep, I'm going to accept them as a family. So first thing is we're going to stop the speed here, and we're going to quickly make this a miner. So these mining fields, we're going to plop about that big. And the reason why we're making it that big is we are going to do the same thing we did over here with the fishing pool and actually make their home the same thing as the mining field. So with this, we're going to need, of course, storefront, as well as, oh, no, not ground storage, ground depositories. We do need quite a bit for them because they just do a lot. Once again, we're going to build another hay wall house. Not really ideal per se, but it's something that it's the only thing we could actually really do. So with that, we're going to build that house real quick. We're going to put down dirt path floors. And as soon as we get like another house of probably another royal forest, I think that's going to be the next thing we get. It's either another farmland or another royal forest. Those are going to be the two things that we're really gonna work for, because we need more planks and we need more hay. But let's see what we have here. We do need a thatched roof for this, so we're gonna plop that down. I normally tend to do thatched roofs last, but I completely just zoned out there. Okay, then we're gonna build our nice little furniture with 3 people living in this house. Okay, so first one's gonna go there. Second one, we are going to do a straw bed kind of in the back. And I think it's gonna be like pretty much just a bunch of food, just so they can make sure that things are going right. Storage, of course, we need a chest as well as some small shelves for food. I think those are kind of like the big things. We're gonna give him a barrel just in case. I think that's pretty much it. Everything else is gonna pretty much go. Oh, they need heat. Completely forgot about that. I'll throw in a campfire right about there. So they got their bed, they got campfire. I'm actually could put a table out here. So let's do that. Put a table right there, and then the wooden bench right there. Perfect. They are gonna need a little bit of help, so let's see what they could do. Listers. I don't have a lot of straw anymore, or planks for that matter. So for that reason, we're gonna go over here. We're gonna go to the warehouse, and we're going to start buying from caravans straw. We're gonna buy until we get 500 because they're still working on that. And same thing with planks. We're gonna buy until we get 200. That's a kind of a good spot to start at. We also could force over here. So we're gonna go to the priorities. The priority right now is 100% planks. We need, I'm gonna go 1.5. Okay. We're really gonna focus on getting our planks up because a lot of things right now need planks, including like all of this. We might also lower down some of our soil management. So we're gonna go down a few just so I could focus on like a lot of wheat here. And so let's speed through the night. So the next family that we're going to bring in is either going to be someone who does scavenging or a farm. And that's going to be pretty much it. Unless we like really need a new family for something else, I think this is where we're going to be sitting pretty at. Because a lot of our guys just need a little bit more help. It looks like we're still getting a good amount of straw because the inn is about to be made. It looks like besides that spot, hey, yes. That is actually what we were looking for. So we're actually gonna put their farmland down here. Because we just need more farm. But instead of doing a household and then a farm, I actually am probably going to stick them together and just do a farmland. So let's quickly build that together, shall we? We're just gonna go just in case the barracks want to get bigger. I am gonna go about here. And a little bit more that way. Okay. Then our farming soil. We're going to do the farming soil kind of this way. Farmlands, we're going to assign the family to this new. They only have 4 people, so that's a pretty easy one to build. Once again, we still need a storefront. So let's plop a storefront in there. We're still going to need some ground depositories, but not much. We only could do 4 on that one. 1 silo over here, and the rest is gonna be flailing spots, of course. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. The rest is gonna be just the house. So let's quickly build that. All right, and there we go. What I did is we actually set up our not our tree management, our soil management to just make wheat. We just really need hay here. Eventually, later on, we'll probably focus on something else. But this current moment, we just need wheat. I might actually make this. Actually, I'm gonna do it right now. I was like I might make it bigger, and then I thought about it. I'm like, I am making this bigger. So of course we're going to increase the size of this. However, if you look here, we cannot go through this soil because this soil is a forest tile. There is a way to get rid of it, and it's by doing this. So we're going to take all the filters off and just do these filters and just go pop. Let's see. Erase those ones. Oh wait. Cancel demolish. Those ones. So now, this family is just going to crack down on destroying this forest and then put it like pretty much over here. But there we go. We got ourselves a nice little house for that, and they're doing well. Once again, we're kind of focusing on trying to really, really get... wait, what do we need? We need planks for these ones? Yeah. But luckily, they don't really need a lot. We're really kind of focused on everything else at the current time. Let's go to the clergy. Is there anything that they need? They need a bunch of straw, which we don't have. A bunch of plank that we don't have. But eventually we're going to get it. Like I said, we do need to pick up more of this. We need more forest. Which I think the next forest is going to be over here. But we have a bunch of buildings currently in progress. And they're being slowly built because our town is slowly but surely getting there. I do want to move this though, I guess. So let's demolish that structure, unfortunately. And then we're going to put it back once that's built. Looks like a bunch of people are sleeping in the inn because they don't have spots to live on their own. Really? What? Oh, it's probably the clergy and oh, this entire family here. That makes sense. The mining and the farmland ones, they still are working on their beds. Building is not reachable. What building? It is now. What do you mean? Yeah, that's what I thought. Like, what do you mean it's not reachable? I made it perfectly reachable for you. Oh, I have to click that one. Now we can build the knackery back right there. So the knackery is basically a spot where they put the carcasses of animals. That's pretty much it. However, I am gonna increase this farmland spot just a little bit more about here. We just really need more farmland. It definitely feels like this really wants you to go over and above what you think you could do or what you think you need. Which, as someone who, you know, plays games like this, I don't mind it. Not one bit. So actually, I'm gonna plop that down and we're gonna go to demolish structures once again. Let's clear the filters and only do these things, and we're gonna pop that so we can start destroying the forest here. So what I mean by destroying the forest is if you cut down the trees, like here's a good example of it. If you cut down the trees in a area, eventually it will become a normal spot. So once I cut down these forest trees, which I actually might need to demolish about 2 more rows just so that green doesn't push into it. So now my family is going to come down here and start cutting it down. And then with that, this is going to no longer be a forest anymore, and we can put more farmland down. And that's kind of the whole hope of it, I guess. A lot of people here, let's look at the things that are not the greatest. So people have recently slept in bad conditions. This guy is literally just slept here on his own. Actually, there's another thing that I completely forgot that we were supposed to do. Let's go to our peasants. Let's go to here to food. It looks like they got some good food. Okay, so Thorol's fine on food. What about you? You're okay with food. Marcy, you're good with food. Lester, you have some food. Okay. And Marschaltz has some food. Okay. I needed to make sure that they all were eating because when I was doing a tutorial one time, I wasn't like really paying attention to the thing that wasn't the tutorial, and they died of starvation. So it's like, my bad. Oh, speaking of they're hungry, my clergy members need to eat. So that is 100%. I'm glad I looked that up. So clergy, we're going to go to food, and we're going to give you 200 so you could eat. I am so sorry. There's your food. Forgive me. I did not mean for you to be hungry this entire time, but that was 100% my fault. Here, let's do it this way. Where is the small shelves? We are going to prioritize the shelf for food as priority 1, and then we're going to try to see if we could give them 4 planks. Do we have 4 planks? We have a single plank. So let's give them the single plank grant. They have no money, so we're also going to give them 15 gold. Reason why we're giving them 15 gold is so eventually they'll be able to buy their own materials from the caravan, and that's kind of the hope. A lot of these guys should have their own kind of like money. So like, yeah, Thorol's getting some silver, Gamble's has some gold, Marcy has some gold. Not really these guys, but they just came into town, so I'm not really concerned about that. And Malshalt also has some gold, so they're able to eventually start selling some of their product that they have, and it's definitely worth it. I heard noises, and I'm not sure if it's good noises or attacking noises. Socializing, disgusted, bored, bad conditions. That's fine. Okay. It's like panic, I guess. Yeah, and there it is. If you saw already, they have already bought themselves stuff with the planks that I have given them gold to. so they're able to freely go around our village to actually buy the stuff that they need. So it's definitely a worthwhile investment for them. Also, I think one thing that we need to do is, I think we're gonna build up. There's something my brain's telling me that I need to do, but I forgot what it was. I don't know. All right, either way, we're gonna quickly go to this farmland and actually almost be able to fully plot out this land to be spots for them. All we need is just these gone, and then that's gonna be it. Let's see what we have for our warehouse currently. We have 8 straw. Actually, we are definitely getting there, because I see the inn is being built slowly but surely, and that means over time we're going to be getting much better things here. So that's actually really exciting. Here's where we're going to be probably buying and selling things that they need. As you see, they're buying some beer to help with them, so that's great. It looks like this guy really wants to resources from stock. Oh, they're buying stuff. That's actually really... Oh, can I buy? That's actually cool. I actually didn't know that I could do that. That's exciting. I didn't know I could do this. I think it just takes me to this though, doesn't it? Yeah. Oh, so okay, this is actually new for me. I thought I learned a lot. Well, I did learn a lot, but there's a few things that I guess I haven't learned. So that's actually really cool. Unfortunately, none of this is what actually I do need. I want to buy all your yarn, please. Because getting the yarn is actually maybe... I know we have plenty of wood. I think, yeah, we have 118 wood, but I'm still going to buy the 11. Yeah, that's good. Okay, let's continue on. I didn't know we actually could click these and actually buy it from there. That's actually really cool. That's something that I didn't learn in the tutorial. Hey, look at this. They're actually starting, because I give them the gold, they're actually buying the things that they need. This is... So, if you like super in-depth games, 100% this is a game for you. I genuinely am liking how in-depth it is. It feels like you are genuinely maintaining a entire area, and it's really, really cool. But sometimes, for me personally, it could get a little overwhelming, because I'm not entirely dumb, but I'm not entirely smart either. So there's a lot of this that is super, super complicated, but I'm definitely enjoying this. So basically, this is how you start with a very small town, but there's definitely so much more here we could build off with. I think later on, I'm going to probably do an update video for this, but for the time being, what we're gonna do is I wanted to show you guys what the new DLC for this game is, called The Great Houses. It has to deal with this entire town and actually working with this. And luckily the developers decided to give me a save to show you what it is. So we're going to switch over to that real quick. See you in a minute. Hey everyone. All right. So this is the save file they gave us. I think it's funny because so they definitely have it built up a lot more pretty and stuff like that. But if you look at it, I'm almost pretty much in the same exact spot where they were. Yeah, they do have their servants with a cottage and their barracks look cooler, but they have pretty much everything that I did. I think it's hilarious. They definitely have way more stuff than I do, but first things first, what we're gonna do is we do want to look at what the new DLC does, the Great Houses. So this is the world map that we were trying to talk about earlier. We are Licante for this save file, and this is the world that we're in. The very first thing that we could do is we could go over to the new areas, and we're able to buy land with money, right? So the first thing that we're going to do is, I think we have enough money. Where is our, yeah, we have 36 gold. So let's buy this land with money. So now here we could also deploy a family, remove the forest, to allow a different kind of production if we want, or we could deploy a family. So we could send a family from your settlement to occupy this location to yield resources based on their profession. So I am going to first go back into our town. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back here. And the reason why we're going back into our town is because I'm going to request a family with different favor that you get with your like main guy, the lord who gives you this because you're a vassal. You're able to do certain things for him, and you get favor, right? So for the favor that I'm going to do is I'm going to do a bow making family. It costs 124, which I do not have enough. But I do have enough for a forging family, so let's do that. So in 0.8 days, we're going to get 3 people who are very good at foraging. We also could have requested something up here for these different ones as well, but we're not going to do that. So here's the royal taxes. There's this is basically what we're supposed to do, different deliveries, and this is how we pretty much get a lot of favor with our lords. We'll also get managing resources that we could trade with other people, and we can have different things later on. So for example, if we wanted to, let's go to the map. Eventually we're going to, let's see, I think this one is going to be the closest one. We're going to come up here and we can actually build a road. It's going to cost us 55 silver, but that's not bad to do. It gives us a timer, and that's pretty much it. We're pretty much going to build that road, and it's going to develop. Over here, we also could build a road if we want, but for now, I think we're fine with just it not being a road. So we're going to let this time go on, and we're going to let it pass. We're going to go sprint by the time and wait for the new family to come in. Okay, so here we are. We have our new family here. So this is the new family that we requested. They're a foraging family. So instead, what I'm going to do is we're going to go back out to the map, and we're going to go to that new area that we just bought, which is over here, and we're going to deploy a family. We're going to deploy this foraging family. Yes, I do. Any zones owned by this family will be removed, and they will leave your settlement to occupy this plot. And ta-da! So what they'll do is now every season they'll produce 31 wood and then give it back to us. And it's super, super cool. It's a nice way to like get passive resources. Eventually, whenever you go bigger and bigger, you could get more families and produce more things. So if I wanted to do this, I could do fish and always get there. If I want to do this, I could do hunting or foraging or fishing or bow making, or just a bow, I guess. Oh, I got it. I am not the smartest. With a bow making family, I get bows. With a fishing family, I get fish, just like here. And then this is still going, and we're still building that. I think I can't do anything here until I make a road into there. So that's going to be a little bit more time for us to make this road here. So if we go over here, there's different garrisons of militia that they're able to actually have, right? Because there is a military aspect to this, which I'm kind of excited for. Not gonna lie, I don't have time to do that in this video. However, eventually, if you want, you could literally start taking over families and actually taking their areas. So then they will start giving stuff to you, and ultimately, if you go over here and fight this royal family and win, you don't have to pay taxes anymore. So all that gold is yours. So it's actually a really cool DLC, and I actually really like the overview map. Basically, it's a nice way to do a bunch of stuff for your passive territory. And like for same here, if I want, I'm gonna buy this with more money. And if I want, I could remove the forest, which I could put a glass making family there. But for now, I think I'm fine, and I'm just gonna go back into the main town and kind of speed through time. We're gonna do a little bit. We're gonna see how quickly or how quick it can go to like attach this to this one, because I think that's the closest town to me. It's pretty far, but it's I think the only one that's close to us. So we'll be right back. So I know I said we'll be right back and trying to see if we could do the road, but as I was waiting here, I kind of wanted to show you a couple cool things. Let's speed by the night. Of course, I start talking at the night. There's actually some really cool buildings we're able to look at. So if you look through here, this is kind of like their inn that they made. There's not actually a lot of tables, which I thought was required in an inn, but I guess I was wrong. But they have their bar literally right out here. Oh, got it. they put the tables outside. That's really cool. I'm actually half tempted to do that for my next inn. But over here we have the barracks, and this barracks has some pretty cool ways of like attacking here. But later on we're gonna get better looking beds, better looking cabinets, because this is our straw, but this is a wooden bed. One thing that I haven't made, like I didn't make for myself in the previous one, is a manor. So this is a manor. This is kind of what the royal families live at, essentially. Of course, they have the more fancy houses and the more fancy things, and we could see displays of beauty. So this is what the world looks like right now. Green means beautiful, astonishing, then goes to blue, pretty, average, and ugly. There are a few ugly things. It looks like it's the rocks, maybe. I'm also colorblind, so it's kind of the worst thing for me to look at. But there's some really beautiful things over here. There's also soil quality, which you could tell based on what is good and what is bad. So now, why is the forest have bad soil quality? Reason being is these trees are so densely packed together that it actually lowers the quality of the soil. Some of the better ways to actually do good soil management is to on these farms here, go up here to the soil management and actually have some stuff able to regenerate. Because if you just fully go off and just build and build and build, you're not going to get some good yields. So normally I go to 30% on a lot of this, but that means about 30% of all the farm plots here will not be used. So it kind of is a give and take, essentially. But remember we were talking about how the best way to do trees, right? So in this game, there's different ways to build trees. So you could build it like this. If I do it that way, this entire area will be terrible soil quality. But if I hit Z, it's going to go through different cycles of ways to make different plots, right? And if I hit X, it goes back. So what I normally do is I do this. Because it's dense, it gives me a lot of wood, but it also gives the soil a good chance to not be destroyed, essentially. And I think that's actually really cool. Yeah, but I just wanted to show you a couple cool things. There's a bunch of different things you're able to build. Different zones, for example. Let's look at the essentials. So you get the manor, you get the cottage for your servants, you get a town hall eventually that you're able to make some beautiful things. And then you get jails, you get execution sites because you have there are criminals that go throughout the world. There's different peasants for the things that you're able to build, such as your tannery, your bower workshop, your tailor's workshop, your clergies, which is the one who gives you the hospitals, your apothecaries, your scribes for better reading and learning, as well as a graveyard keeper. Shout out to my old stream. Then we got some cool artisans. So artisans will only come in and they are very, very finicky. They will actually leave your settlement if you do not have a good enough settlement for them. But they do increase the happiness and the mood of your village. Yes, but for that, what we're going to do is we are going to be right back as soon as the cities are built. See you later. Hey, well, that took a little bit longer than I was expecting. As you can see, we're in winter. It literally took an entire year in order for us to make it from all the way down here to all the way up here. I also realized that you're able to start connecting like here. So this is already a road. If I go over here, I could start building a road way over here. So if I wanted to do that, I can. So yeah, and I only learned about that as soon because there was 2 roads here, and I didn't realize I could start doing that. But now we could actually trade with, ta-da, the Villeins. However, our relationship is not sufficient because, yeah, I did not do any of that stuff for it. But hey, now we're actually able to start trading with people and actually doing genuine things if, when you play this game normally, you have a bunch of things yourself. So I also realized down here there's other things you're able to do with these lands. So you're actually able to develop land and actually level up the land, right? So currently right now I'm producing 116 fish, where normally I would have only produced 61. So basically it just ramps up the amount of stuff you get from that area. And that is so, so cool. And like here, I'm able to develop more land, but it costs more gold and resources. So so it gives me 51 more wood, but it costs me 2 gold, 26 silver, and 24 copper, which I definitely have enough if I wanted to do that. And I'm not sure how high this development goes, but I think that's a really cool. Every season it provides you with a bunch of stuff. So if you're able to like grow big enough and actually get a huge plot of land, you can just start hoarding a bunch of resources and whatnot. But yeah, that's pretty much the DLC. This map kind of changes a big part of the gameplay of this, and it's really exciting. I barely did anything in this town. I kind of went like AFK and just started focusing on wanting to build those roads. It took like a day and a half for a road to be built, so it definitely took some time. But yeah, this is Lords and Villeins. Or I don't know how to pronounce it. It might be Villeins, I don't know, but Lords and Villeins with the DLC of the Great Houses. If you do want to check it out, there's a link in my description where if you click it, it'll take you right to it, and it's an affiliate link for me. So if you want to help me out, it's a perfect way to do it. Also, I want to say thank you so much for watching this video, and to our YouTube members and Patreon supporters on the screen here. But with everything else, I've been AmmonTek. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace, everyone.